Hello, people of the internet. My name is Henry Danish, and we are back with Week 7. And as always, I'm going to be joined here by my co-caster, Demonic, and we are going to be seeing Complete Chaos take on True Uprising. As you guys can tell, the setup is incredibly different, so I do apologize if things aren't as smooth as they normally are, as I'm still trying to get used to literally the completely different look of absolutely everything in my house. So I do apologize if things are kind of all over the place, but let's get into the game here. Complete Chaos taking on True Uprising, going to be on the map of Border. Both of these teams have never been casted before. Obviously, True Uprising has kind of come into the league a little bit late as they've replaced Rose Gaming. Complete Chaos have just gotten a little bit unlucky with scheduling and just haven't gotten a casted match. But both teams obviously coming into this with a search to get into that top 8. If you are looking at the standings right now, we can see that both of these guys do find themselves at the lower half of the bracket. But like I said, I am joined here by Demonic. Demonic, what is your take on this match?
Well, I'm going to apologize for the pun before I say it, but I think it's going to be Complete Chaos. True Uprising, they're a little bit late to the game, so they might not have as much experience with Red Cube League, but they are still a team. They still know how to play the game. So overall, I think it's going to be a relatively even matchup. I don't think we're going to see any crazy things like a 7-0 victory for one team or the other. I think it's going to be relatively balanced.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. Obviously, a couple days ago, we saw a couple thrashings, actually. There's been some games that we really don't expect to end up as a 7-1, and they slowly but surely do end up as a 7-1. So, I mean, we never really know coming into this matchup, but the one good thing that I really am looking forward to about this matchup is the fact that we really have never seen these guys play. They can completely surprise us. One thing I do know, though, is that True Uprising have had quite a lot of roster changes. Obviously, they used to have Skaboza on their team, who a couple minutes ago made quite a scene. But True Uprising, they have dropped a couple players. They have rotated in, I think, 3 new players today. So it's going to be interesting to see how they blend. But with that in mind and Complete Chaos, we know they've been keeping relatively the same roster for quite a while. The only thing they have added was Pixelated from Chroma Knight, who is an extremely good player. True Uprising are definitely coming into this match a little bit behind because they don't have the same chemistry as Complete Chaos. Demonic, do you think that's going to have a major effect on today's matchup?
It might. I mean, really, the barrier between an amateur team and a semi-pro team for them to be good is usually going to be the communication, how long they stay together. I mean, you even see it in Pro League, you know, players rotating all the time and switching people out. I mean, Cloud9 6 months ago is almost irrecognizable as to what it is now.
Yeah.
For CSGO and a bunch of other leagues, this happens all the time. And you find that those teams, no matter how good the players are, they tend to struggle. I remember a few years back when League of Legends was starting to get popular, there was a player named Piglet, and he was on the best Korean team at the time, which is still one of the best teams. SK Telecom won. They won the World Championships. They were the best in the world. He was considered the best ADC, and he went to North America to join Curse, which was another a North American team that eventually became Team Liquid. And he did so poorly that he got benched in a couple of weeks because, you know, he didn't speak the language, he was new on the team, he didn't know how the others played, and it just shows that no matter how good you are, you have to be able to work with the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing that a lot of new teams actually look over is the fact they see someone in the LFT post and they say, oh wait, this guy's a gunner, let's get him on our side. And then they start playing a couple matches with him after they've dropped their entire roster and they're like, wait a second, he does not work well with our current formation. And that does tend to happen.
Throw him on Ashe, it'll be okay.
Exactly. Just put him on Ashe and hope he frags out. But that's not necessarily always the case, and that's pretty relevant in a lot of amateur leagues. So it's gonna be interesting to see if Complete Chaos, they've had a couple moves, True Uprising have had a lot of moves, if they can kind of overcome those barriers and put on a show today. I think no matter what, we're going to see a show, but I think the biggest thing everybody has to keep an eye out for is the fact we've never seen these guys play. Neither of the teams have been casted, and this is their very first time just on, I guess, the bigger stage of RCR6. And will the pressure get to them? And I say this all the time, pressure shapes legends. Let's see what happens, and I will see you guys on the map of Border. Ladies and gentlemen, and I also want to forewarn you before we get into the matchup, we still have been having quite a lot of issues with the kind of custom games in the new servers. It's been really all over the place lately, so if things just are completely off, we do apologize. And I also do apologize because the resolution of the game is completely off, which is something that I don't ever see, and I will try to fix that for you guys right away here. And just like that, Thermite
Oh, that's going to be a very important ban coming out from True Uprising. I'm not sure what they're thinking about doing there. Maybe that they're playing on the defense. They're just going to do a really strong Armory Archives hold and hope that they can secure enough rounds to, you know, go into the second half with a very large lead. But overall, taking Thermite off of the board, and there's going to be Glass as well, which means Blackbeard is going to be available to sit outside that AC window with a lawn chair, a nice glass of lemonade, and his bulletproof shield on his gun.
So this is very interesting. Taking that Thermite off the board, he is one of the most pivotal operators on Border, and we said this a lot last week, and I think we're going to continue saying it. It's the fact that Border is one of those maps that are extremely linear, and you tend to see the same exact push over and over and over again, and most of the time, that push is going to include a Thermite every day of the week when you are pushing Armory, no matter what. And the fact that we're seeing him off the board so early on, that's definitely going to throw off both of these teams, I think, just a little bit. Obviously, Complete Chaos were the ones to make the ban, and they're on the attacking side first, which is just kind of weird in itself. But obviously, it's definitely thrown True Uprising off the board because nobody's ever seen that. I don't think we've ever seen a Thermite ban. Maybe
it's
Habana
never
ban.
been done in the history of Dota.
Exactly. And it's just kind of a weird thing to see. I don't exactly know what type of strat they're trying to pull out, but it's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, we can see the choices are coming along the ways, and just as I predicted, they are going to be going Armory Archives. And I really like the setup that they have there. Maestro, a very efficient operator to hold on to that, especially because you can basically hang out outside of Archives. You can be in the office, you can be in the fountain area, you can be in the Armory, and watch it with relative ease because of that evil eye. And along with that, there's also going to be the Blackbeard pixelated using that six pick, I cannot pronounce that word, I apologize, to pick up the other yellow operator Blackbeard. And overall, I don't think that Thermite ban is going to be too important because we've seen a lot of different strategies. Basically, once Mira has been like kind of taken out of the meta because she is just so commonly banned, people really aren't focused on going through that CCTV side and opening that wall up and pushing it there. Usually they try to actually now get on the balcony and go on the B site instead because you can watch it a little bit easier, you can get the plan down a little bit more safely, and we'll have to see what they go with on the attacking side, if they'll actually do that, or if I'm going to be proven wrong, which happens quite often, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, commentator's curse is just a curse that affects all commentators. Every time you say something, it seems as if the team just listens to you and does the complete opposite. And talking about the Thermite ban, talking about the fact that we won't be seeing that hard breacher get open that Armory Locker's wall, I was thinking possibly of seeing Maverick just to try to get rid of those bandits and then get the Habana onto that wall as well. But there is no Maverick here. There is literally one hard breacher of the Habana. It is looking a lot like Season 1 of Rainbow Six when there was only one hard breacher, and Pixelated is just going to be taking a breather.
Just taking a break.
Yeah, exactly. Just taking a breather, making sure it's all good.
It's like a pre-flight check, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And finally, he is out and at him. He's just probably going to situate himself on that sandwich window. That is a typical spot. You see Blackbeard, but already we see the ash of Shavkin. I'm just going to call him Shavkin. Okay, yeah, that's probably right. We're going to see Shavkin already kind of putting himself into the security room very early on in the round.
Yeah, and it looks like that is exactly what I called out, or the opposite of that, excuse me. I did not predict that. But we can see Pixelated, he's actually going to be on the sandwich window, and he's not going to be able to get tagged the running player, but almost was able to catch him up. But that's a very good position for him to be in. Meanwhile, Doggo is going to be opening up that entire wall, which if those X pyros go off in a very good way, they might be able to have a very nice sideline into it. Because the bandit trick is going to be attempted right now. Orb is going to get into a gunfight trying to stop it and allow his teammates to actually get them down, but it doesn't look like that is going to be the case there. Minute 38 seconds left, and the X towers are just popping off. Will those pellets be able to open it up? Pixelated with the first kill of the game. Young is going to fall right now in Sunuku. He's trying to go for something, but that wall is going to open up, and he is not in the best position as Doggo will be able to take out Catalyst 3v5. How is this going to end up for them? Another one. Orbit grabs the kill for himself.
And we do see Lucky and Nagek are the last ones, and Nagek is able to get a kill on Shavkin. God, those names are extremely hard to pronounce. But Lucky, as a Legion, this is an operator you do like to see in the late round, but he cannot see at all, as he was completely blind, and now he is completely dead. It's going to be all up to the Jaeger now, looking to retake and also clutch a 4v1 situation. He is going to have to ace if he wants to secure this round. He is going to see the Yin. What a nice shot onto Orbit. Blackbeard on that sandwich window continues the dominance that Blackbeard just, you kind of typically see on Border. Just cutting off that rotate was the objective of Pixelated, and he did exactly that, and also got a couple kills to match it. So very, very strong play there from the Blackbeard, and overall, super dominant first round there from Complete Chaos.
Yeah, you know, I do think it was a little bit of a problem because we saw there that three different players on True Uprising decided to peek a Blackbeard, which is kind of a cardinal sin in the competitive play. I definitely think they put a little bit too much focus on him. I think it would have been smarter if he rotated through the small office and maybe got a foothold there. But in hindsight, it's 2020, and I definitely think that next time they're going to need to focus on making sure that Pixelated can't just sit up there, you know, like I said, with a lawn chair and some lemonade and just take them out, because we really saw how dangerous a Blackbeard can actually be, especially because he got through this ban phase relatively without any issues.
Yeah, and most of the time, especially on Border, you typically don't see the Thermite ban. You typically would see the glass ban. You typically see the Blackbeard ban. And the fact that Blackbeard is still in play, as we, again, I apologize for those latency issues that I mentioned earlier, but with Blackbeard in play, you are going to see him get onto that sandwich window almost every single round the bomb site is upstairs. The one hard counter to this, though, is if the attacking team doesn't have a lot of claymores, you will most likely see a run out onto vents, or you will see a run out from below. So Blackbeard, yes, he's in a super advantageous position right here as he completely cuts the site in half and just cuts off any rotate back into A. But if he just gets ran out on, he's going to have a sixth sense to flick either beneath him or to the side of him to try to secure that frag without him dying. And that's extremely, extremely hard when you are on that rappel. So there is a counterplay to it. It's just very, very hard to kind of get correct, and we need to see that here from True Uprising if they want to stay alive in this, because they cannot let the entire play just be completely dictated by this Blackbeard every single round.
Yeah, and as you can see, Pixelated, he isn't too worried. He's going to do the same exact thing. And it really seems like there isn't a whole lot in order to actually stop this. They don't have like a deployable shield in front of it or anything like that. And overall, that was a little bit of an interesting spectator glitch. You never know what's going to happen when you're casting Siege. The spectating system keeps it fresh, but Njek is going to find a kill. That's going to be Shaviction down, and the Roamer already being effective, taking out the 3-speed Warrior. Meanwhile, Orbit's making his way onto the balcony with his buddy on Mortis game heading out, so it's relatively the same push, and you know, it's one of those things, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they might be trying to go for the same thing here, and what this means is True Uprising is able to counter it in a way where it actually works out in their favor this time.
We are going to see about almost the halfway point here of this round. Pixelated has not been contested at all, and I really don't think a run out is going to come out from this defensive side. If that plant somehow gets down and the attacking side gets control of this half shelf area, my fault, you're most likely going to see this round go in favor of the attack, because there is just no rotate. I actually find, I think there was a run out as Pixelated has lost both of his shields to extremely low health, and finally, with 121 left in the round, we are going to be seeing that wall getting open as Orbit is able to get the first kill for the attacking side. That's going to be onto Sunuku, and that is going to be the Bandit off the board, who is just getting, I think, a little bit too aggressive with those Bandit tricks.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the fatal flaw with him, is that he's a really good gunner, but if he has those bandit wards, it's not going to be... I'm sorry, the Candela charges are going to be coming inside. Check are going to be making their way out through another way. That Evil Eye is going to give them a lot of information as they launch the back area. 50 seconds left right now. Pixelated still on the window. Is he going to be able to spot somebody out? He's not going to be peeking out just yet. Orbit is actually inside along with Habana right now. They're going to try and go for the plant as Inject jumps into the small office. He's going to get spotted out by the Blackbeard. Pixelated picking up another frag from that same exact one. Spots one of them coming over the sandwich, but he's not going to be able to stop him. Instead, Catalyst will get a kill into Orbit, but the knife kill is going to come back to another one for him. Doggo is able to save that, and this is now a 3v1. Lucky last time alive, will be able to stop the plant. Tries to fight the Blackbeard again, but he's not going to actually get taken out by Pixelated. Instead, Morta will be able to finish him up in another round for complete chaos.
Almost an identical round to the first one. Literally everything went the exact same way. The only difference was who died when and where. It was get control of that sandwich window. Exactly what we saw Pixelated do. He did that the first time. Then we saw the push and get the plant down and then just watch the rotate. Literally the exact same foundation for the plant, exact same foundation for the post plant, and it worked again. There was just no aggression onto that Blackbeard. That is the problem here. We saw Pixelated that entire time. I don't know why he is choosing Lion. That is a operator that everybody knows he is banned, as actually he's AFK. So he's going to be 6ing. That is just unfortunate that they have to use their 6 pick due to the fact a player was AFK in a competitive match. But nonetheless, we aren't going to be seeing that Lion, which is good to see because, you know, Lion is just an absolute menace and nobody really likes him. But complete chaos, 2-0 now, and there wasn't really any counterplay there from True Uprising, and I think that's a problem. They need to be a little bit more aggressive, as right now complete chaos are walking all over.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
Yeah, it's not looking too good for them right now, but they are changing sites, which might help, you know, kind of get a breath of fresh air. And in my opinion, I think the problem with RCR6 is obviously it's a very good site, but the fact is, it has been played so much, it is essentially the, you know, the Dust 2 of Siege, this entire map, but especially double for RCR6. So going down Events Workshop, it again is, you know, one of the more popular sites compared to Tellers or Customs, but it's at least different enough to where they might be able to do something different and mix it up. And as we can see, though, it looks like Complete Chaos is going to be prepared. They're having some heavy operator switches. And what I really like is I think that they focus on actually playing the objective and getting the diffuser down. They have the Capitao, they have the Buck to watch above, they have the Candela mines to allow Doggo to get in safely. It's a really smart way to play the game in a league that is primarily focused on almost like team deathmatch, you know, getting the frags and focusing on those. So it's a very smart decision by them, and so far it has paid off. It allowed Doggo to get inside relatively safely the last round, and I think it's kind of a good decision on their end.
Absolutely. Like I said, Border is one of those linear maps where we are typically going to see the same play over and over and over again. And what you're going to see here from this push is just get control of upstairs, have Pixelated the Buck, get the soft destruction going, and get as much control and any lines of sight onto the site as possible. As Orbit is just making sure his DPI is to the absolute max, and he is now going to be pushing into that half shelf area. And he does not know that there's a Jaeger sitting far behind. Actually, that's my fault. That is going to be the Legion sitting right behind there. And this is a very, very nice spot for Sunuku to play, as if somebody pushes in, it could be an easy frag if he doesn't get droned out, as well as the fact that somebody pushes below him, and just like that, a Candela is going to be coming out, and he's going to be completely blind. Orbit should be able to get that frag, and somehow Legion is able to escape for his life for just a little bit, but he finally is able to find the frag onto that Legion, and just like that, Catalyst is going to go down as well, and the up top control has been completely given back, but what a nice shot there from Yun Bones, dropping down onto that server room tower, and just finding the head of that Capitao.
Very good trade, at least. It was a 1 for 2, but the way that he did it, the style points have to be awarded as he retreats back into the bathroom. And Enjek, he is back on the site, anchoring right now as the Aegis, something that you don't see too often. We'll see how it works out for them. But right now, this is looking to be a very good situation for Complete Chaos. They have complete upper control of the entire site. Ooh. But no, as I say that, Enjek is going to even things up right now and turn this into a 3v3, taking the Buck. They're going to have to work with the floorboards that they have already opened up. But Lucky gonna get spotted out right there. Is able to see somebody through the rotation hole, but who is going to win this exchange? And it looks like neither of them are going to be playing this game. They're just going to barely scrape by each other. 40 seconds left. This is all up on the remaining 3 players of Complete Chaos to actually get the diffuser down. Now they do have control of it right now, and they are able to take down one of the true Uprising players, as Young Bones is not going to done so more. Instead, he's going to lose his life, but a great shot from Inject picks up another one through the wall. Orbit's going to fall as the flashes are going to be coming inside right now, but a great plan from Doggo. That's a very dangerous situation for the defenders to be in. Lucky trying to peek outside, see if there's anybody upstairs. Not able to find anybody else just yet, but that's going to be Doggo picking up a kill, and this is not looking too good for Lucky. Now Doggo's in a very bad position. A great shot from him. Going to even this up to a 1v1, and he's just going to try and go for the disable, but it's not going to be enough with a great angle on Mortar. He is going to go down, and Complete Chaos is so far looking very strong with this 3-0 lead.
Something that we do not see a lot in this league is, you've mentioned this earlier, is the fact that it's always more like a team deathmatch style where people are just going for frags, trying to get kills and things like that. But what we're seeing right now is Complete Chaos. They're playing for the plant. They are trying to get the plant down. They need to get the plant down, open up the angles, and then just wait in that post-plant situation. If they get the plant down, I think they have definitely gone over this in stress, gone over this in dry runs. They know what angles they want to hold. They know where they need to be. And if they just have one player left, they say, okay, this is the best position you can be in. Just get the plant down and go here, here, or here. And because of that, Complete Chaos is extremely, extremely dangerous because we don't see that typically in the league. It's a lot more frag-heavy type of style of play. And when Complete Chaos kind of flip that on its head and then are forcing you to retake site, and they know every single angle in and out, it is so, so hard to win rounds, and we're seeing that here. Complete Chaos have been very, very dominant. Even when it's a one-on-one situation, they have a significant advantage because they have that extra player of the bomb down.
Yep, but we are going to be going on to round number 4 right now.
And the location of a bomb.
And you know, I always about teams is that the ones that can adapt to the situation are usually going who will be more successful in the end. And as we can see, True Uprising, they're going with the same exact lineup that they had previously, and I believe on the first 2 rounds as well, maybe one operator switched out from that lineup. But you know, the Maestro, the Legion, the Jaeger, all those guys have been the same. They might want to try different operators, different setups. It seems like what they have is they have a strat document that says, okay, we use these operators, and we place our hardwire here and this stuff. Really, the flaw with that is going to allow Complete Chaos to know exactly what operators they're going to have. So there's no surprise there. There's nothing that they have to try and counter, which can always be a problematic thing. Meanwhile, they have already been switching up some stuff. You know, Pixelated back on the black gear for Workshop. You know, they didn't go with the Buck this time. They instead went for a Maverick. So they might be trying to do what you said previously, but it shows adaptation and the ability to change your game.
As we do see, Shavkin is just kind of, Shavkin or whatever, how he wants us to pronounce it, is kind of just sneaking his way all the way into this central stairs metal area. And he's going to be actually getting an angle on the site extremely early on. And he's going to be just holding it down here on A, and there's absolutely zero intel on him. He is in sight. He could get a kill on the smoke, but he is not able to do so. Bringing that smoke down a little bit lower than 100% is good, but if he was able to secure that frag, that would have been absolutely insane, as that's a huge operator off the board. But Pixelated is able to get the refrag. That's going to be onto the castle, and upstairs control, once again, is going to be the priority for this attacking side.
And right now, that's going to be another kill for Rage. Able to clear off the second floor at the moment, making sure there's no blue lines on the floorboards. Unfortunately, you can't see those invisible fuckers, but he does find it, so good on him there. He knows somebody's there. Is he going to get the same kill with the same angle? No, Morta instead is going to take his kill, as Sudoku is going to fall. And this is a 2v3, so definitely a possibility here right now is Lucky to be playing on the backside. He is the smoke, which means those remote gas rings are still in play at the moment, as Orbit uses his breaching charges to open it up because they don't have a buck to do so. You give them quite a bit of angles on the site, and along with that, they have full minutes to actually get down there and plant the diffuser.
As we see here, even without that buck, they brought the exact utility they needed to kind of get control up top and get angles from up top. So with those breaching charges, it allows the Yeen to just kind of sit upstairs and just wait and watch for any type of rotate and just wait for post plant. I am reiterating this fact over and over and over again, and I do not like to do that, but it's all about the plant for this complete chaos side. As we are going to see Habano not looking to those metal stairs as Smoke is just going to be sitting there, but looks at the wrong time and is not going to catch the Habano. Finally is, and that's going to be the diffuser down. Huge kill there from Lucky just to slow down this attack a little bit more. The push is going to be coming out there from that Thatcher, but he's going to be forced to retreat after the smoke canisters are detonated right onto his feet. But with 15 seconds left and the diffuser out of control of this complete chaos team, they are not looking good. And now it is a 1v2 situation, make it a 2v none situation, as Lucky is able to secure the very first round there for True Uprising.
Very good round for them to win coming back from that, though. I think that was actually a 2v4 or 2v3. So kind of getting themselves onto the board, finally getting over that hurdle of actually getting around. It kind of makes it a little bit easier because then you can say, okay, we won one. We just need to do the same thing a couple more times. And I think that's a really good thing mentally and kind of get your morale up. But we are going to be going on to the next site. And once again, we're starting to see more adaptation in the lineup as long as he doesn't 6-pick off of that. Okay, so there's an IQ in his Aoeah, so I have to be right about at least one of those operators sticking around and improving my point, although I'm going to guess Pixelated is going to switch off into Blackbeard. No. Okay. Wait, no, that was a reveal face, damn it. But as I was saying, yep, there it is. Okay. Well, at least I got one of them. But
yeah, exactly.
True Uprising, you know, doing the same thing, I feel like that could cause some issues, especially when we're going back to the same site as previously. It might be hard for them to actually try out new things.
Yeah, we say Border is a linear map, but it doesn't have to be as linear as this defensive side of True Uprising is making it. They are literally bringing the exact same operators, the exact same utility, the exact same reinforcements, the same barbed wire. Everything is exactly the same, and it makes really predictable play. And I think that's why Complete Chaos have gotten the plant down so many times, because they know exactly where the players are going to be and who is going to be playing what and where. And that is a huge problem for True Uprising. The moment you become predictable is the moment you are going to lose that round. And I think the difference between last round is the fact Smoke played outside of sight, which was very unpredictable, and he was able to deny the plant and also just put the diffuser in a very difficult position to recover it. So that is the difference. If you put the diffuser in a spot where Complete Chaos can't plant it or they can't recover it, you are most likely going to win that round because they are a diffuser-focused team style of play. But right now, what we're seeing from this True Uprising side is they're becoming way too predictable. They need to step outside the box a little bit and take a little bit of a risk, because they don't want to give this round that they just won right back to Complete Chaos so early on.
Yeah, but as we can see, you know, Complete Chaos, they're starting to do some of the things that we're criticizing True Uprising for. Pixelated on that window once again. I would be 100% surprised if they aren't able in some way, shape, or form able to take him out with ease, because they know he's going to do it. They know he's going to be on that. They know that Dongo is going to be outside CCTV. If they aren't able to punish that, because this is the same exact attack that they just did and that they just finished. But the problem is, it looks like there's going to be a $10 grenade. It's not going to actually land, however. A bit of a mistake there, a little bit of a problem for Orbit, but he's been a gunner, so he might be able to make up for it. We'll have to find out. Minute 40 seconds left right now, and Catalyst is behind the half wall. He's going to toss out his actual first remote gas grenade, and the X-Towers are going to open up the reinforcements.
So he's going to be getting drowned out here, and playing this half-shelf area is extremely dangerous, but it's extremely pivotal as well, as we are going to see Bandit just forced to not rotate, but Catalyst is able to get the first kill. That's going to be onto Doggo. That is the Habana off the board, but Habana already did her job somewhat opening up that wall, and now finally we are going to be be seeing the execution here from Ying, pushing into the smoke, and unfortunately, Sanuku on that bandit knows exactly what is going to be happening, and Orbit falls as the smoke just is going to be able to sit on the half shelf area for a little bit longer with a little bit more ease. Obviously, Pixelated, you losing one of your shields there is going to be forced to retreat and change the style of the push just a little bit, as 2 operators now for this attacking side have been knocked off the board.
Right now, 2v5 as they are going to repel onto the balcony right now. Pixelated joining his fellow teammates. Ooh, this could go very bad for the player at the half bar right now. Mortar, he's going to be running inside right now, but he's Catalyst instead is going to be able to take him down. He's going to get the lead on that, but Pixelated with a pixel peak angle is going to be successful in finding a frag, but there's going to be a C4 toss. That's going to end out the round, and True Uprising will be picking up their 2nd victory on board.
Very, very good way to come back. Now, obviously, this is the last round before the half, and this will be huge if we see True Uprising. I don't know how I got that name, but True Uprising, it will be huge for them if they can secure a draw going into the half and it being 3-3. After going down 3-0, that is huge to just get 3 rounds right back unanswered. But it also spells a little bit of a disaster for that Complete Chaos team, because if they were so easily able to get those first 3 rounds and then start to slip just a little bit, that is a problem in itself, as they show that they might not be as flexible as we once thought. But it is going to be the last round. That does mean we are going to have to see a little bit of a flex onto a different site, and that's why Bathroom Tellers is going to be the site of choice. We did see Viper earlier this week. They decided to go here. Didn't end very well for them. Maybe we can see True Uprising change the story just a little bit.
Bomb located by attackers.
Sorry, just doing something 1 second to apologize. I was a tiny bit distracted, but we are going to be on round number 6 right now. And as we can see, you know, other than one single operator swap out into the Bandit on Customs and, I'm sorry, Tellers and Bathroom, you know, that's not really going to be anything that Complete Chaos isn't going to expect. Meanwhile, we have a Twitch now. We have Buck once again. No Blackbeard this time. We have Thatcher. There's a lot for them to work with. And I think another thing is that while on True Uprising side, they do have the Jaeger and the Bandit who are very good at frag, they don't have a whole lot in terms of getting kills. Whereas I think that it's a little bit more balanced on Complete Chaos side in terms of utility and kill potential, which are 2 key features in terms of operator lineups. But True Uprising, you know, I definitely like the strategy that they're doing right now, going on to Tellers and Bathrooms. Not the most popular choice. In fact, I would say it's the least popular out of all the 4 sites on border right now. And I think it's kind of underrated, so I think that they're going to be able to take advantage of that. And yes, Njek is going to be able to take out Pixelated, who was just rushing in there, guns blazing. I'm not sure what he was thinking there, if somebody missed him on the customs droning, but that's a bit of a mistake right there. We might actually see that again. Orbit's going to be jumping right into archives right now, as Catalyst is playing in the office area along with the Bandit. And Njek finding another kill on the roam. This man is unstoppable right now. Gonna be looking around for his 3rd, and he might be able to do so. Orbit and Doggo are in archives, but they aren't really able to open it up too easily.
So we're going to see just 3 operators left for this Complete Chaos side, and it's just getting a little bit closer for this True Uprising side to secure a draw going into the half. But right there, Njek is able to get a huge kill onto Morta. I don't know what Morta was doing. Not watching that East Stairs kind of flank is just a huge mistake. Everybody should expect a roamer to come up those East Stairs. Njek is able to get another one. It's a 4K for him. Can he get the ace? It's going to be the last operator here of Doggo. The Habana, she has an absolutely stellar gun, but with only 21 bullets, is it going to be enough to take down the super on fire Njek? It is not. I didn't even know where he was at that point. He was just too fast and too strong for this Complete Chaos side, and all the way he was able to pull out every single card and even the ace. As just huge play from him, securing the half to make it a draw. And now we are going to see the reset of sides, and Complete Chaos are going to be on the defense.
Absolute great individual play, and I really like how after a while True Uprising picked themselves up by the bootstraps and got back into the game. And I was critiquing them. I'm saying they have to change their operating lines, they have to do something different, but it worked out in the end. Uh, Especially thanks to Njek's amazing little five-piece right there. You can really tell that just not droning out was the issue because that's
Yeah.
how he caught out the Buck. That's how he caught out the Hibana. That's how he caught out the I believe it was the I can't remember
Buck?
correctly.
I think it must have been the Buck.
No, there was the Buck who got caught out first, and then there was a second
Oh,
one that
yes.
he was able to find as well. But most of his kills were him just sneaking around like fucking Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell,
Yeah.
and it really worked out for him. So great job on that. And along with that, his team is calling out with a really good setup. I really like what they did there with the armor panel on in between Arthas and Archives. Really slowed them down surprisingly, even though there was that softball right next to it.
Yeah, and I think just it came down to individual mechanical skill there for Njek, as he now is on 11 kills. It is the most out of absolutely everybody, especially on his team. He's definitely carrying a little bit, but everybody obviously is going to be doing their part. It doesn't always show up in kills.
The closest person is 4, by the way, so that's a very big difference in between Njek and his fellow teammates. So he is certainly fulfilling his role as a gunner.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming into this match, again, like I said, we didn't really know much about this True Uprising team, and it's really good to see that on the bigger stage of actually finally getting casted, Njek is making the most of it and just kind of really playing just absolutely insane. So we are going to be seeing going up to that typical upstairs site. Literally everybody is on site. 0 roamers for this complete chaos side. That is extremely, extremely interesting, especially on the map of Border. And there we go. We are going to see Jaeger drop down and just try to get as much map control and as much pressure onto this attacking side as early on as possible. Maybe just to slow them down a bit as well.
And right now, Shadkin, he's going to be able to one on the Jaeger right now. Sanuku is going to be able to take out Pixelated. So was the mute, definitely nothing lost right there. The chambers are already down, and overall, really, Mute's not able to do a whole lot of frags in general. But, and still one player down nonetheless, and a good start for True Uprising, who are really doing much better than what we saw in those first couple of rounds. They're getting the frags that they need, they're playing the way that they need to, and overall, it's kind of a shift in momentum. We went from having complete chaos just steamrolling over them to now it's True Uprising's turn. And, I was expecting, when I said it was going to be more balanced, I thought it was going to be, 1-1, 1-2, 2-2, etc. Not 3-0, 3-3, and then 6-0, 6-6. Definitely something. But Sanuku grabbing a second one right now. He really wants to turn to ace as Buck right now, taking out the Bandit, and a third one for him. Shadkin is going to try and peek out, and he is going to get punished heavily for that. And this is looking very good for Sanuku.
As you see Mortar there getting a huge kill onto Lucky, and Sanuku's looking for maybe his turn to try to get the ace as he's playing aggressively on these metal stairs, opening up into that main hallway area, just trying to put as much pressure onto the Maestro and the Smoke as possible. As the Smoke is able to see the Yeem, but not able to land the shots, is going to have to push here. Is that smoke grenade going to land? It is not. Actually, yes, it is. Somehow, Capitao is actually going to die from that. I have no idea how he was actually hit by that, but as well as Capitao going down, Smoke is going to be in the combo, not outstage, as well as Doggo is going to shut down 2 huge players, but Njek comes back at the very end and secures it there for True Uprising, knowing where that rotate is going to be coming out and just winning it on pure gun skill is True Uprising once again. And like you said, this match, what was looking like complete chaos, starting to run away from it, just completely flipped in favor of True Uprising. And the thing that's extremely interesting, and a lot of people need to watch it a little bit more, especially with best of ones, is the fact teams can't look for the second map. They can't look for the third map. They have to put everything out on the line here. So when you see True Uprising coming into this matchup really, really slow, I think there was a moment, there had to be some IGL that said, okay, guys, we literally only have one map here. We need to make this count. We need to start bringing these rounds back. We can't give up right now. And that's exactly, I think, what happened. In best of threes, you tend to see maybe if they start struggling in the beginning, they're like, all right, we got next map. Or, okay, let's just wait for map 3. Or, like, we can win it on this map. In best of ones, you can't do that. It is, you got next round, you got the next round after that, and until it hits that mark 7, you are going to be putting your heart into the matchup because it's every single round is just so much more important. And that's why I think we are seeing True Uprising bringing this one back because they've just woken up a little bit.
Yep, and they are going to be switching things up, grabbing a Valkyrie right now to play a little bit more defensively because that'll give them a lot of information. And because they haven't been using Valkyrie, it's not going to be as expected, which means they might not be able to spot out some of those black eyes. And that can give you a lot of intel that you need and could be the difference between winning a round because you know somebody's there versus a guess. A very common thing in fighting games, especially like for honors, is a thing called a 50-50, which means, you know, it's a 50-50 chance that they're going to go with one move or the next. And Valkyrie kind of diminishes that effect in Siege. You know, sometimes it's like, okay, is he on the left side or if he's on the right side of this room? Well, with an Evil Eye, you get a nice 1080p 4K resolution shot of the outside and the inside in every single nook and cranny of that second floor, which is allow them to do a pretty good job in that aspect.
Yes, we are going to see a lot of intel operators on this side for defense here. You do have the Valkyrie with the black eyes and then the Maestro with the evil eyes. As well as the fact, Maestro, when you have a Valkyrie in play, tends to shift towards a plant denial type of operator. And that's probably where we're going to see, as I think both cams of the Maestro are in a position just to deny anybody planting either in B or A. Whereas the black eye cams are just trying to get intel outside. And, well, we did see Pixelated got the intel he needed. He just was not able to land the shots. And last time we saw Pixelated playing, we accused him he was way too aggressive and there's no need to push certain angles. And I think that's a little bit of it there. There was no need to kind of go out there and run out super early on, especially when you are now down in rounds. Not really a smart play there from Pixelated, as he is going to go down, as well as his trusty roaming buddy of Jaeger is going to go down as well, making it a 5 versus 3 with about 1 minute and 30 seconds
Attackers have located
left.
a bomb.
As we are going to be seeing Bud just trying to get control of that half shelf area. Maybe toss a couple grenades up there. Actually, my fault. He does not have any more grenades left.
Bomb located by attackers.
I don't exactly know where he put them or where he used them at all. But maybe a little bit of a waste utility, as the frag grenades are extremely important. But right now, already smoke is going to be going down. And that is going to be a nice cheeky angle from the Capitao, able to get a huge operator off the board.
Very good play coming out from him as Cattles is going to join his fellow teammates. I'm actually surprised that he does not have control of the diffuser, although at this point I think it's looking a little too late for complete chaos. 45 seconds, that's a lot of time, especially where they are right now. But he's actually going to go for the ban, and it's going to be punched immediately. Orbit is going to fall and Doggo immediately after. And True Uprising, once again, they're holding on to this. You know, I said earlier, once they get over that first hurdle of winning that first round, you can really get back into the game and start running away with it. And that's exactly what they're doing. So now it's Complete Chaos's turn to actually win around and get a hold, because they had a very nice advantage, and that has slipped way out of their hands, as it's now tumbling down a snowy mountain hill, so to speak.
And I do apologize for the spectating. I am not using a controller anymore. I'm actually using the keyboard because my controller broke. So it is really annoying, and I do apologize if it's kind of all over the place.
Isn't this a professional league?
I'm sorry. It's hard.
We expect better from you, Rick.
But we are going to be seeing just one more round here from this True Uprising side. They are going to secure the draw. So 6-6 obviously being a draw. If we do see 6 go on the side of this orange team, that means they do secure it, and then Complete Chaos, the best result they are going to get from it is a draw, and they cannot get the win. So already True Uprising are in a very, very nice spot, but they still have to win a couple more rounds here to secure a total win. Something, though, that we need to put on blast is the fact True Uprising last week, they did struggle when they had the lead. When they were up by a significant amount, they started to gift back rounds very, very easily to Rapture, and in the end, Rapture actually being able to win it. I think Rapture was down 5-0, and then we saw Raptor come all the way back and win it 7-5. So
10 seconds
we
remaining.
do see True Uprising have a tendency to maybe get a little bit too comfortable.
5
I'm
seconds
hoping
to
they
insertion.
learned from their lesson last week and are going to continue putting their foot onto the gas
Yeah,
pedal.
I don't think that's going to happen because they started this out 0-3, so I don't think that they would. But I guess we're going to have to find out right now. And once again, you know, I critiqued True Uprising for doing the same thing on the defense. I have to do it for Complete Chaos to stay fair. They are doing the same operators once again. And this is a game where there are so many different abilities and ways to play different characters and take advantage of the fact that the roster now, especially compared to vanilla, is so diverse with what you can do. Even with the bans right now, you know, they can pull out a Legion, they can pull out an Echo Phantom. So they can't do that just yet. But you know, they can, you know, maybe do a Clash. They can try and mix things up instead of sitting in this meta or whatever they have in their strat document. But Pixelated right now, playing in the office area, and he's kind of in a pretty good position right now if he actually wants to go for a run out to find a couple of them. But it doesn't look like he's going to be doing that. He's going to be a little bit smarter than what I would do. That's probably a good thing.
So we're going to see Ash actually all the way in sight. All right, not in sight, but all the way onto the upstairs part of the site. Is somehow going to miss the rotate there from the smoke. Pixelated's actually going to come running in, able to secure a huge frag onto Young Bones, but is not able to land the C4. Is going to see the Ash, but Ngek is able to find himself on the winning end of that gunfight, and Catalyst is able to get a kill onto the Mute right after him, so making it a 3 versus 4 now, as Complete Chaos are in a very, very tough position. Obviously, Jaeger is in kind of an odd spot, just almost hiding behind this bookshelf. Don't exactly know why he is doing that. Most of the time, we typically see a Jaeger on the Duke. A reset is going to be coming out here onto the action, so it's quite a lot of time for this attacking side to kind of get everything in order for the execute, and that is what it is going to be all about. Can we see the side of True Uprising secure the draw here with a strong execute? It's something time will tell.
Now, Orbit, he is on the roam still as Jaeger. We've already seen how deadly he can actually be right now, but Njek, he is on in terms of getting frags, and I believe he has already gone one this round. So this is going to be the battle of the century. Ash versus Jaeger, Orbit versus Njek. Where else he comes out on top, because I think that's what's going to come down to is if Orbit is able to get a nice flank on these guys. 30 seconds left, however. They have to get onto the site right now as Orbit is preparing to sneak by. Will he be able to get behind them and actually stop the diffuser flank? Because that's all he has to do. He does not have to kill all 4. He just has to make sure they aren't able to get that diffuser down. He's just going to peek outside right now. Is able to spot out Snuku. Almost messes it up and almost misses the shot right now. Doggo is able to find Njek. Will be forced to plant the diffuser under duress right now. Lucky is going to be able to find a kill onto one of the last Complete Chaos members, but a great shot from Orbit is able to stop the Doggo. Will be able to clean it up and get Complete Chaos back into this game 4-5 in favor of Uprising.
So we need to see Complete Chaos completely flip this matchup because, again, it is still one more round for this True Uprising side to secure a draw. So if we potentially see Complete Chaos go on to a 5-5, it is really anybody's matchup at that point. Both teams have an opportunity to either secure the draw or both teams have the opportunity to secure the win. So what we are looking at right here is we need to see 3 consecutive rounds from Complete Chaos if they want to get a win. But if they do hesitate just a little bit, it could easily go down to a draw. That is why best of ones are so important, because it's not just relying, like I said, on the next map, oh, we got this or we get that. It is every single round counts and how you get those round counts as well. So it's very important for this Complete Chaos team to take last round's win and continue with it and just use that as their momentum and their confidence boosters to make them potentially secure either a draw or the win. But with True Uprising, I don't think they want to repeat a last week situation, and they're going to be coming right back into this round with, I think, the same fury we saw earlier on in this matchup.
But right now, it looks like they're almost taking my advice right now. Pulled out, and I think that's a best situation for them because Orbit has been doing a great job on the roam in the defensive side so far. So throwing him on an operator that's specifically designed for that and that's its main and primary focus, I definitely think he's going to be able to get some work done. Excuse that voice crack. I am apparently a prepubescent 13-year-old, but we're going to go into the action phase right now. True Uprising is in this game, and they definitely are hungry for that victory, wanting to clean it out. We'll have to see what they're going to be able to do here.
Shevkin is on Fort, is obviously not pleased with his own performance, as he is going extremely negative. Maybe this is his time to kind of break out of his shell and get a couple kills here, but a little bit, like you said, of a deeper roam for this complete Chaos side, and I kind of like to see that. Obviously, Vigil has not been pulled out once. This is the first time we are going to be seeing him, and the fact that I don't think True Uprising is really expecting a Vigil on the roam, as well as the fact that probably not going to be deeply droning for him, and also that he can completely counter drones. This could be a huge operator pick that could result in a lot of frags for this complete Chaos side.
Pixelated, he isn't bandage jerking, which is a little surprising. Now, he doesn't really need to. Plenty of shock wires, but it's kind of a dangerous position for him to sit right now, just right under there, because originally that was the idea for the longest time. You could sit right there, and oh, a great shot from Morta on the run right now. Jaeger is just doing absolute work, you know, just across all these players. Njek, Orbit, Morta, they're really gunning kids down right there on border. But Young Bones has the sight line on them, and Lucky is going to be sitting in the break room. Minute 35 seconds left. How are they going to take this?
Yes, we are going to see the captain now just trying to get any type of angle onto the site, as the break room area and CCTV has been completely gifted to this attacking side. But the problem here for True Uprising is the fact Vigil and Jaeger are both downstairs and have not been droned out, have not been contested since the very start of the round. This opens up the doors for an extremely deadly flank, and if that happens, this attack from True Uprising is going to fizzle out right before their eyes. Jaeger obviously in customs, and Vigil down here in server, both of which could walk up metal and just either deny plane or secure a couple frags in that break room. So they are in very, very nice positions right now. They just have to play their cards correctly.
And right now, Mortar, he's going to be sneaking around, but Pixelated is able to push inside. Young Beans is going to go down, but he's...
the bomb diffuser.
Atlas is going to find the kill on a Pixelator right now. So that was maybe like 2 or 3 sets of reef traits right there, but Morta, ooh, he's going to be going for the run now. It is payoff with extra. Sanuku is going to fall, and this is all up to Lucky, and right now he's not looking too good, and just as I say that, Doggo is going to find the kill, and they're actually going to be able to even this back up to 5v5.
And somehow we continue to see just a complete shift of momentum. In the very beginning, complete chaos. Everybody was thinking, oh, it's going to be like 7-2 or something. These guys are going to just sweep True Uprising. Then they get to 3-0, and we're thinking, oh, wait, this actually might just completely go on complete chaos' side. Then, slowly but surely, True Uprising take it to 5-3, and they just won 5 consecutive rounds. And we're thinking, oh my, True Uprising have had a huge shift of momentum. Maybe they're going to be the ones to take it. And now, we just saw 2 rounds here for complete chaos, preventing the draw, and now securing the rounds in a position now where they not only can secure the draw themselves, but also get the win. It is so close, and it's not even back and forth in a sense, like you said, 1-1, 2-2, 3-3. It's more 3-0, then 3-3, then 5-3. It's just huge jumps and of momentum and confidence have been going for both of these teams, and it's really just now a test of time and where the pattern will land, whether it will be on True Uprising sides in the later half of this matchup, or will it be on complete Chaos's side in the later half of this matchup, and that's going to be the team who's going to secure the win.
Yes, indeed, and right now, Pixelated, they are going to be doing a couple of reinforcements right now. I really like how they still have the Vigil. I definitely think it worked out in their favor, but I mean, Mortar, he did a great job on that roam, and definitely not like, he really shows that he has a lot of map knowledge. He's been positioning himself well, and we saw on round number, I believe it was round number 3, where they got the diffuser down in that doorway, and he actually had a great little pixel peek to watch it from the top of that bus through the window. So great map knowledge, and I really think that he's able to kind of take control of it. So throwing him onto that roaming role is a very smart idea. But we're going to get right into it right now, and it looks like Lucky is actually going to be opting for the Jackal, so hopefully to try and counteract that roaming game from both the Jaeger who's being played by Morta, and Orbit, and trying to actually figure out where they are.
Yeah, obviously without a Lion, you aren't going to see that as efficient roam clear, as well as the fact that I'm very surprised we haven't seen a Dokkaebi being put into play, as she has kind of found herself outside of the meta, and that was a huge peek there from Young Bones, able to secure the kill onto the Vigil, who we were talking about so much. Such an impactful operator is now just completely off the board, and Jackal as well, trying to find some footsteps to scan and potentially taking the Jaeger off the board here very early on, but Jaeger has rotated back down into sight out of that CCTV area as Castle decides to run out. Pixelated continues to play super aggressive. He is going to be on the winning end of that gunfight, but is unfortunately not able to secure the frag.
Yeah, and the Inox is going to catch him out, so he go on the run. As Lucky is trying to figure out where they are. It looks like they're going to be able to clear out break room, but CCTV is still going to be... He's going to fall stab can, and although it's immediately refrag, he certainly did his job hiding in the corner there. That's, once again, a big droning mistake for True Uprising to not realize that he was just sitting in that corner twiddling his thumbs until someone came into his sight lines. Minute 22 seconds left. Njek once again on the Ash. He's already been doing a great job with this, but a great angle from Pixelated is going to catch him out. And just as I say that, that is going to be the caster's curse. I do apologize, Njek, for walking over. We will say that was my fault.
As we do see Doggo here, once again, just playing those trapdoors extremely aggressively. We saw this earlier on in the rounds. He got a couple of frags in a position similar to this, but on a different site. And with now it being 3 versus 3 and Pixelated still on a very deep roam, where literally nobody really knows where he is, the drone work so far from True Uprising has put them in a hole. It's just like that somehow. Jaeger not able to land the shots under that. Habana brought down to about 25 health, as well as the buck. This is not looking good for this attacking team. There's 2 operators, if they just trip over their shoelaces, are going to be broken out. Thatcher, the only attacking operator left. 100 health. There's a shot there from Sanuku. Is able to land, but why are you dropping? As Doggo, that's going to be an extremely simple kill.
Ooh.
And with 15 seconds left, Habana has to make something happen. Is going to be dropping in a very similar situation. Is just going to have to stick the plant. This is not looking good for Habana, as the push is most likely going to come out and prevent her from planting, as she cannot unstick it. And just like that, complete chaos are going to be the ones to secure the round there, and now guaranteeing a draw and potentially a win.
It always has to feel nice to at least get some points on the board, to know that you're like, okay, no matter it goes just one round, you're at least getting something out of it. Although I do believe that both of these team standings, they are out of 8th place. They're not in the top 8, but they're relatively close, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, we see Complete Chaos are in 10th and True Uprising are in 13th. So they're relatively close. They do find themselves outside of the top 8, but a win here, a draw here, I don't think will guarantee either of the teams to get out of the bottom 8. But if a win, I think the winning team will be put into either 9th or 8th place. So this game is really for a huge potential of getting into those playoffs. And when it comes down to it, we are in week 7, and there is a couple weeks left. Obviously, there are 12 weeks in total, and then the 13th week is the week of playoffs. So, yes, there are a couple weeks left, but you are starting to get into the half of the season where things are getting a lot closer, and every single game is starting to matter just a little bit more. So, this game is going to be important for both of these teams to maybe have even hopes at getting playoffs.
We'll have to find out. This is one of the rounds that you guys are going to play right now, this entire game. It's either going to Complete Chaos pulling away with the W, or it's going to be True Uprising at least. Or am I doing that backwards? Yes, no. What do you mean? Sorry. Complete Chaos either going to be getting away with the win, or True Uprising is going to be able to secure the draw.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
10 seconds to go.
Sorry, I got the teams mixed up. I do apologize for that.
Yeah, no, I was
5
having
seconds
that
left
issue
before
earlier
insertion.
today, as I feel like just both of the teams' names, there's like just some that are just so
Attackers recovered the
similar.
diffuser. Attackers
But
are moving
whatever,
to
nonetheless,
bomb.
it does not matter, as we are going to be getting into probably the most important round of this entire match. Like you said, match point obviously for this complete chaos side, and just hoping for a draw is this true uprising side, as this is the last round potentially for both of these sides. Well, actually, no matter what, it's going to be the last round. So we do see Ash on the deck. He needs to kind of wake up a little bit. Obviously, he was huge on defense. He has gotten a couple of frags here and there, but if he is able to kind of get back into the flow in this round and just get maybe 1 frag, 2 frags, that could easily shift this round. But what a shot, almost coming out there from orbit, nearly hitting the head of that Ash. That would have been a huge kill for this defensive side. We are now reaching the 2-minute mark, and up top control is going to be the main objective for this attacking side, and that is where the bloodbath of absolutely every gunfight is going to most likely take place.
And Bordo has been doing a great job so far, but if he peeks out into those archives on defense, he's run in. No matter how good you are, doing that every time is always a scary thing because of that rifle shield.
Attackers have dropped the bomb
There, but the rest of True Uprising is going to be kind of hanging out around in the CCTV area, and I'm kind of questioning what they're going to be doing. They have a lot of drones, they have a lot of kind of idle time, so to speak, right now on this final site, and they definitely don't want to waste any of it. But Young Beans, like I said, or I'm sorry, Young Bones, I do apologize, is going to be able to finally call in Morta. No matter how good you are, going against the rifle shield typically is going to end in your favor. As Sanuku, he's going to be peeking side, and if that barricade wasn't there, I don't think it would have ended very well. He's going to be, doesn't matter anyway, as Shirkan, or Shavkin?
Yeah.
I'm completely butchering it, I'm sorry. Going to be able to get, but Enjek, he is in sight. Look at this absolute mad lad. The rest of them are going to be on the roam right now. I'm not sure what the Maestro is, but this is certainly something. They have complete control of it. Looks like they are going to be preparing to watch the angle. 48 seconds left right now. They have to get down there. Catalyst, looks like they're going to be going for it.
We do see just trying to get as much control of up top, just trying to get some angles, but without that buck, it's going to be incredibly, incredibly hard. You do have the Ash, who has one more reaching round, just to try to maybe open up some angles, but that's not necessarily the type of utility you want to use, as just, that's not really what Ash is made for. There you see a couple guns coming out, but Shavkin is able to get a huge kill onto Lucky. That is going to be the Thatcher down, and no more EMPs, and with only 15 seconds left here, we have to see True Uprising do something. The diffuser is in no way or shape in control of this True Uprising side, and it looks like they're just going to run out of time. Why are they not pushing? And finally, the plane is going to be coming down, but he's going to have to stick it, and just like that, very, very horrible time management there at the later half of this matchup, and that was the last round. You want to have issues with time management, as it was the most important for True Uprising, and unfortunately, even with a 5-3 lead, Complete Chaos is able to secure the W. They were so close to losing it out 7-3, but they came back and went 4 rounds unanswered. Just look at that scoreboard. Nagek with a crazy amount of kills, but it does not matter. Complete Chaos are going to be your winners.
Yeah, definitely a great job from both sides. And like I said, it was going to be balanced, just not in the round differentials that I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be a lot closer in that aspect. But instead, we saw 3-0 lead to 3-3 to 5-3, back to 7-5. It was very interesting to see how that was played out. But thank you, everybody, for watching. That was definitely a good game. I will let Red Cube do his outro because he's much better at it than I am.
All right, but we are actually going to just go on a little bit of a break, and then we'll come back and do the outro. Something is just completely going wrong with the OBS, and I want to fix it before I completely just ruin everything. So we'll be right back with the post-game analysis, just letting you know what exactly happened throughout the match and how Complete Chaos were able to secure the fairly surprising win there. But we will be right back as soon as possible. And make sure you guys stay tuned. Unfortunately, there will be no post-game interview, but make sure you guys still stay tuned for a quick recap of exactly what happened.
Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Until you find your way back home. I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with the post-game analysis. Obviously, I do apologize. We've been having really weird latency issues. I have no idea why that is happening, as well as the fact the game audio has been really oddly mixed. So I do apologize for the technical issues for today. There was some just little hiccups, as sometimes the audio just cut out, or sometimes you see the mic cut out. I do apologize. We are trying to actively fix that, but some of these things are just not on our end. It is just after the update, which was December 4th, a lot of things have been kind of off whack. That's kind of what you expect at this point from Rainbow Six. They tend to have a lot of issues when they come out with a new season update, but they are going to be fixing it nonetheless, so we're just going to have to wait and see. I'll try to keep you guys as updated on that as possible, but obviously, the story of today, Complete Chaos coming back from a 5-3 deficit, able to secure the win against True Uprising. And overall, Demonic, what do you think was the selling point of this match? What tipped it in favor of Complete Chaos?
Well, I think I originally thought that it was going to be relatively and even together, because, you know, they had relatively similar standings, they had relatively similar players in terms of skill and map knowledge, and I think what it really came down to is that Complete Chaos, they had the lead, they lost it, but they were able to pull themselves back and get back into it. We can see on the scoreboard that almost all of their wins on both sides, but especially for Complete Chaos, were you know, grouped together. So it wasn't like one round Complete Chaos, one round True Uprising. It was, you know, 3 rounds Complete Chaos, then it was 5 rounds True Uprising, and then the rest for Complete Chaos. So a really kind of balanced, but not really round differentiate compared to most T games. You know, most of the time it's like one team will win 2, then 1, then 1, then 1, then 2, and like so on.
Yeah. It's just kind of more of a back and forth style of play. It's something we did not see today, which is something you don't typically see, which is always very interesting. We were going into this matchup, obviously, none of these teams were ever seen before, so we were expecting something interesting, and that's exactly what we got. Very, very close match nonetheless, and we do apologize once again for those technical issues, but that is going to be it from us, not only today, but for this week. Obviously, if you guys have not paid attention to the Twitter or to the website, there are no more games on Sundays. It is 3 games on Saturday, 3 games on Friday, and 2 games on Thursdays. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of an issue with Saturday's games. I do not want to talk about what happened, as it was just stupid on my part. But it was just, I do apologize for not showing those games, but we are going to be unfortunately ending it here for week 7. I will see all of you guys in week 8, and I hope to get all these technical issues out of the way with the latency and things like that. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the match, hope you enjoyed the casting, and I hope you come back for week 8. And I am now going to have to go control the Discord. So
oh, this is gonna be so fun.
Thanks everybody for tuning in, and I will see you next week.